we're going to cover how to choose the best suppliers, because the last thing you want is to find a really great product and then just have like a really shitty supplier who doesn't deliver things on time, or doesn't package things properly, or doesn't respond to your messages, or things of that nature. I'll get into it now. So finding the right supplier is essential for A, you having an easier life, and B, giving your customers the best experience. So let's just, for example, search for bracelets. And then if we do what we discussed in the last video, which is arrange it by orders. So there's a lot of great products here, a lot of sales, but some of these, the ones at the top normally do have good suppliers because they've clearly had experience with dropshipping, because they're selling in the tens of thousands. But what you want to do is just make sure that that's the case. So if, for example, we go down this list, and I'll pick one, for example, all right, let's do Zodiac bracelets here. The few things to look out for are, if you hover over the supplier's name, you'll see where they're based. This will always normally be China. The most important thing to look out for, I would say, apart from the rating, is when they opened. So if they opened a month or two ago, they might be fine, but if you want to play the odds, then you're better off going with a supplier that's been around for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I normally use ones which have at least a year in business, and I've used ones that go up to like 5 years or something. So focus on when they opened. You want someone with experience, and you also want ones with a higher rating. So they've got quite a good rating. So 4.8 out of 5 is really good for in terms of the item as described. Communication and shipping speed, like, that's normal if it's a bit lower, because shipping speed from China is going to be a bit slow, and they might have a lot of orders. So as long as it's above 4, 4.2, 4.3, like, that is, in my opinion, good. And the main one is just making sure the item is as described, because the last thing you want is to send customers really bad orders that don't look like what they purchased on your website. So that's what I look out for, in addition to the product data, which is the number of orders and the rating that the actual individual product has got here as well. So you can sort of cross-reference the product's quality with the actual supplier itself that gets a rating. And here you can also see it's got 98.3% feedback. So that's a really good rating. So the other things I look out for are, there's two other things. I'll just do it now. So a good thing I like to do is see if a product that I like and want to use has more than one supplier. So I can type in Zodiac bracelets here. In fact, let me just do bracelet. Do it by orders. And look, there are. So I would spend time going down this list and choosing the suppliers that A, maybe have the most orders, so they're really experienced with dropshipping, and have the highest rating, and of course the best price. So don't go for ones with the highest price, because price doesn't necessarily equal quality. Some people say, oh, well, you should go for ones which are slightly higher price because they are of a higher quality, and that's not really how it works with AliExpress. So a lot of the times these sellers aren't actually selling, and I'm sorry, they're not manufacturing the products themselves. Like, look how similar these products are. What happens in reality is that these suppliers all go to the same one manufacturer, and then they're actually retailers who sell it on to us, because they can maybe use computers better and know how to set up a store on AliExpress, and maybe they talk English, so things of that nature. So the manufacturers are normally just only speak Chinese. They're very ingrained in just producing products. They don't want to sell things or go on AliExpress. So don't let price influence your decision too much. You can just go by the photos mainly. So this, in my opinion, like, it looks quite bad quality. It might have the most orders, but it's quite bad quality. Whereas something like this, if you look, it just looks much better, like a newer version of what we just saw on the left here. So I would go for something like this. Like, it's got high orders, high review. If we hover over the supplier, oh, okay, it's not coming up. Let me just click it then. And yeah, look at this, 8 years open and 98% positive feedback. Like, that's amazing. So when you find suppliers or a supplier that you like, the next thing I do is I'll always contact them. And what you're looking out for is how quickly they respond to you and how good their English is. So when you're drop shipping, you'll often need to contact the supplier. So maybe you want to say, hey, I've got loads of orders coming in this week. Will you be able to handle it in time? Or do you work at the weekends? Like, do you still ship orders at the weekends? Or the tracking number for this order is missing. What is it? And I've had suppliers before where I've literally asked, where's the tracking number? And they'll respond with, thank you for shopping with us, have a nice day. Like, they obviously don't understand me, and they're just using sort of template responses that make absolutely no sense as a response to what I'm saying. So I'll always just contact them saying, hi, I'm a drop shipper. Do you do drop shipping? How fast do you ship orders? Is it within 12 hours, 28 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours? And if they can speak English, they'll respond and answer your questions. Because the other thing you want to do is, if you ask multiple questions, you want to see if they do actually pay attention and respond to each of them. So ask multiple questions in your message and see if they respond to each of them, instead of just them saying, yes, we do drop shipping, and then that's all they say. Like, that's not what you want. You want someone who's actually attentive, who responds. And most of them, I've actually had a good experience with them. So they'll respond like really enthusiastic. They really want your business. They're really friendly. Often they'll say, this is my WhatsApp number, or this is my Skype ID. Some of them will actually actively say, do you want to have a chat on Skype or something? Or others just say, if you've got any problems, just contact me on there and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. So it's really important to build up a relationship with your supplier, just so that they're on your side. And it's actually quite good for price as well. So a lot of the times, suppliers who offer the same product will slowly increase their prices if one of their products is selling. But if you've got a relationship with your supplier, they won't increase it for you. So I've actually had a supplier where they set up a separate duplicate of a product and just offered it to me at a lower price, and then everyone else had to pay the higher price. So it's definitely worth building a relationship with them. And then you're all set to go. So if I go back to the product, there's one last thing I want to show you. So on AliExpress, a lot of suppliers don't always make the money through just the price. What they'll do is they'll artificially lower the price to something really reasonable or really competitive, and then they'll just add it onto the shipping price, which is where they'll make their profit margin back. So what I like to do is, very often you'll get orders for more than one product. So you want to see a couple of things. So ideally, you'll always send it by either China Post Airmail or AliExpress shipping, because those two come with tracking and are faster than these free options. And then if it's United States, it really should have e-packet. Let's just check. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so e-packet's there. And what I'll do is, so this just shows the price for one. I want to make sure that if I buy two of these, that they're not charging me double the shipping. So what it should be is they should either charge just the same one price for two products. So for example, if it's China Post registered airmail, for the two products, I would either expect to pay just that same £1 or $1.88, or what often happens is they'll do a slight increase, and the slight increase is fine per item added, but what you don't want is for them to actually double this. So let's just have a look and see what they do. Okay, two there, add to cart, view shopping cart. 2 pieces, yeah, perfect. So they've kept it at the same price for two. And if I've done bracelets as well before, and some people do order like 4 or 5 bracelets. So if they keep this at the same price, then your profit just goes through the roof. All right, 271. So that's still a slight increase. I think it's actually after 3 or 4 products, they'll then do the increase. But up to 3, I think, they'll keep it at the same price. So suppliers like this are really good because they're not trying to scam people by literally doubling the shipping. So this is the one thing where a lot of people don't do this, or they don't know about this, but it's something I noticed. So make sure you do look at this, and then you've got a really winning supplier. If they've got a highly rated product, they themselves are highly rated, they've been in business for a long time, and when you go to do the shipping, they're not trying to rip you off, they're actually giving you a great price and a fair deal.